Hello and welcome back to Everybody Loves Raiken, our 5th edition lively that meets on Tuesday nights. We've been off for a couple weeks now as people are enjoying their summer break, but we are back for tonight, and I was watching the last episode to try and remember where we were at, because it was so long ago. So it seems like we left off as the party had just departed company with Jebel's Uncle Dunduk, who they met for the first time. The man that he had recommended to Lilith Draknir to help her to reverse engineer the muskets they found in Garland. They had come back to the city several days later, and he's already got an entire workshop underway as they're making more guns. They've invented a carbine version of the musket they're calling a pistol, and he has used his understanding of geology and chemistry to reproduce the gunpowder that is used to make them work. And so the party got to meet Donduk and hear about his wife Haraya, who actually designed the pistols and has been doing most of the engineering work while he's been doing the chemistry. And so that was good. There were some hugs, there was some family reunioning there. And so now the party is outside of the Dawn Spire in the brilliant plaza of Everwatch. Let me think here for a second, because this I didn't think to check until just now, but it was like 12 hours, let's call it, say you're like 14 to 15 hours into your separation from Laromendis, who is back in Shirkawa, learning his spells. You know that he needed something like 28 hours to finish all that. So he needs a bit more time. Lair, you sat down for tea and rosebudded your friend Daikon Gabriel there. That took about an hour. So that's going to set you back that much time, so your 28 becomes 29 hours. But because of the tea and the rest, you're going to feel good going back to work. You guys bought items at the Mages Guild. So the person wearing the speedy boots, which I believe is Vendar, with the conversations that you've had with Dunduk and everything around that, you'll have had time to attune those boots. You should find them on your sheet. Yep. And so whenever you need to make a check for exhaustion, you have advantage on it, is one of the effects of that item. Now, you spent all day, now here, so yeah, let's have everybody make a check against exhaustion as you're extending at 14 hours. Say you start at 8 a.m., 8 p.m., 10 p.m. Yeah, let's have a check against exhaustion right now. Vendar and Laromendis are going to have advantage on that. Laromendis because of the tea time. And we'll say that the DC right now is 12.
Hello.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I think Laromendis is going to go to sleep.
I know Cyrus hasn't been there for the full time. Does that include him?
Yes. No. Cyrus is fine.
Okay.
You've only been here like 2 hours or 3 at most.
Yeah, Laromendis is going to go to sleep.
Oh, you did really well on that DC 12, I take it.
Yeah, I did fantastic. I got a 10. I rolled a 2 and an 8.
Alright, so you decide, 29 hours, 33 hours, what's the difference? I'm gonna go trance.
Yeah.
How'd everybody else do? Less Cyrus here.
This is just a normal check, right?
It's a
There's
Constitution saving throw.
Oh, then I don't even have
DC's
to roll.
12. No, of course not.
Does Raiken have an aura for that?
Yes. Everybody's around him, so everybody gets +3, right?
Yes.
Okay. There you go.
And the great thing is now nobody has to be everyone doesn't have to be literally right next to him because his aura went out to 30 feet.
You're right.
Wow.
It goes out to 30 feet now.
Well, that brought me up to a 21.
Okay. Well, you're fine then. You don't feel tired yet.
Sorry, I've been talking. And I've been muted.
Nice. How did you do?
I only barely did it. I got a 13 thanks to Raiken.
Well, that means you got one higher than you needed to get.
I mean, I would have used lucky, and then I calculated that, and I thought I needed 15 for some reason. I was like, oh no, and then I remembered.
12. And you used your advantage, right?
I did. I rolled an 8 and a 7.
Oh, nice.
The two that had the advantage didn't work for them.
It worked. It just didn't work well.
Yeah, I made it, and I had lucky, and I had inspiration. I
could have survived. This would be fine.
I could have done more.
Leah.
Yeah.
Did Constitution saving throw? Did you make it?
Oh, no, I didn't. I got distracted. Sorry.
Oh. You fall asleep.
No, I'm not falling asleep.
Here I was, where I'm like, I should start it off low. Don't make it too low. Maybe 12 is too low. Apparently not.
Well, I got a 20 on die, so.
Oh. You fall asleep. No, I'm kidding. Yukikaze. Did he really fall asleep?
I don't know. He's still muted.
Oh. Okay, well, we'll run under the assumption, for the time being, that he's fine. And I will turn it over to the players. Lair, you go to get some trance in. 4 hours will elapse there, and then you will still require the rest of the time. Remember, 29 to 33 shift. And then, what do the rest of you want to do? You are in Everwatch. You know that if Lair goes straight through, he should need about another 14 hours. And you will probably want to sleep at some point.
It was 22, not 29.
22.
For the
You're
initial
right.
one.
Sorry, for some reason I thought it had been more than 24. But
I think there were other spells that I was considering and then decided against asking. I decided not to ask the guild for Modify Memory.
My problem was that I was thinking...
And I no longer needed Gate because I got that one myself when I leveled up.
Mm-hmm. I knew it had been 4 more than an important number of hours. I just, instead of going to 18, it was 24 that I went to. So I was like, oh, yes, 28. Okay, so sorry. So instead of 22, it's 25. Which means that at 15 hours, he should need about 10 more hours, according to the best of your knowledge. But you do know that you're starting to kind of to realize that it must be late in the day where you came from. You've been up for a while. And that, as far as you know, you still have the open invitation to sleep at the Palace in Shirakawa. So the question is, do you want to do something about that, or continue to hang here, or pop off somewhere else in the world? You got money, you got Mages Guild, teleportation spells. What do you guys want to do as you prepare to put your plan into motion? What else? What other loose ends do you need to tie up before potentially dying?
Well, I know Cyrus needs to visit his mom and see about that. I don't know if it was a cloak or what, but she was working on something that would fit his wings.
Clothing, right. Okay.
Raiken doesn't have anything.
Vendor?
But
Vendor still, he made the order for the holsters. He's gotta wait until they're made. It said it was gonna take like 2 hours, right?
Yep. So you know that very shortly, that's about an hour away.
So we gotta stay here until that's done, and I can pick those up, and I'm good to go wherever.
Leah?
I want to join the Cyrus for clothes. That sounds fun.
Alrighty. And, Jebel.
I can't think of anything I want to do.
Dunduk had mentioned saying hi to your mum.
How far are we?
I mean, one transit via plants away.
Yeah.
So as far as the
Idea.
nearest tree.
How far away are we? About 10 feet.
Maybe 20. I mean, it's a big stone area that they're in here. They gotta, go off into the grass to get to a tree. Right. So, those are 3 things. Vendor wants to wait for his holsters to be done, which will be in about an hour. Jeb might want to go back to his hometown for a quick visit to Mam. And similarly, Cyrus wants to go visit his mom, and Leah wants to go with him. So, are you going to discuss that in character to decide if you want to split up, tackle it all at once?
What's Yukikaze doing?
I don't know. He hasn't responded to me yet. Yukikaze, are you alive?
Yeah.
He's alive. All right. We made a Constitution saving throw against some exhaustion earlier, DC 12. Did you have a chance to roll that?
26.
Okay, sounds like you beasted it. So you are not tired. And is there anything that your character in particular might want to do anywhere in the world before the mission commences?
Nope.
Okay, well, then I recommend you address one another to discuss the 3 things that have been put forth.
Raiken is willing to wait with Vendar because he has to attune his new ring anyways, and if that's going to take an hour, then that would benefit him.
I, bare minimum, I need to discuss with Leah her interest in coming. So I can do that now, unless people have other things they wish to discuss.
Nope, that's what this time is for.
All right, then. So, Leah, you're aware I'm going home for this, right?
Home as in where?
I'm trying to remember the name of the country, but the same
Shirakawa.
area as Shirakawa.
Oh, I thought it was just going on a shopping spree.
No, this won't be involving any shopping. I had made a trip home once before, and now that my mother is aware of my wings, she was kind enough to be working on something that would accommodate them better than what I currently have.
Oh, I see. Well, if you want to privacy, I can stay here.
I mean, I can't really think of a reason you can't come, but I'd also be bringing a girl home.
Oh, yeah, that probably could be. Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, I'm gonna stay. You have fun.
Alrighty then. Then, Cyrus will stay for kind of as long as he can, in case other people want or need to go other places. He has enough spell slots he could drop someone off somewhere before. Well, he's dropped the group off somewhere before going someplace else, but yeah.
You should address that to the people who want to go places.
So I know that I'll be heading out of the city for the evening. I have enough spell slots remaining that I can take one group somewhere else and still have enough. Well, yeah, still have enough left to get to my destination. Is there anyone else who needs a trip? Preferably somewhere we've been before.
I have no desire to go anywhere, so I'll go with whoever, or stay with another group. It's least that it's the least inconvenient for what we need to get done.
So you just go see your mom and come back here, or just go straight back to Laromendis if you want. We'll probably go back to Laromendis once we get my holsters in an hour.
All right. Oh, suppose I should make sure I have a fixed point of return. I'll need to do that. Is there a particular place we should meet here? Assuming we're starting things in the morning or some point tomorrow. Or is the plan to start things as soon as Laromendis is done?
I imagine we'll probably want to start things as soon as he's done. He's still got like 10 hours, right? I imagine we'll go back to Shirakawa, get some rest, and then start.
So then we're meeting back in Shirakawa. Okay. Do I actually have anything that would let me teleport there? Without risk?
Well,
Because, like, I've been shown the circle, but that's not exactly...
you have money and access to a mage's guild.
Yes, doesn't matter. Because, they'd either be casting teleport or teleportation circle, which I can do. The question is, I need an object from there or clearance to use their teleportation circle.
I don't know. Can you send to the mage's guild there?
Could. Probably be easier just to have Laromendis ask for
Don't you,
clearance once he's there in person.
don't you just need to have seen the place to teleport there?
Oh, I can teleport anywhere, regardless of if I've seen it. The chances just go...
But
Get-
you've been to Shirakawa. Why can't you just teleport there?
Because without a object from the place or a fixed circle, there's a chance that I will miss.
You need an object from the place?
That is one of the most surefire ways for me to get back to a place. An object that's relatively linked to the place that's been there, I think, within the last month.
I thought it was 6 months.
Might be 6 months. I'll have to double check. It's probably 6 months since I was able to go home. But
Yeah, it's 6.
Do we have anything like that? Anything from Shirakawa?
Anything from Shirakawa?
Laromendis probably would.
Yeah, too bad
That's not
Laromendis
very
isn't
helpful.
Here, so.
Yeah.
I have some things I bought there, but I don't know if that would work. They're also not exactly something that I want to just hand you.
I mean, it's not like I need to keep it.
Oh, it's not that. It's volatile.
Ah, well, that would sounds like it would be something that would work.
I did get some purple worm poison while I was in Shirkawa. Do you think that would work? A vial of that when I got?
Do you know which vial is which?
Do I know which vial is the one I got in the new ones?
I think it would probably be the cleanest, just the newest looking of the ones in there. There's also the other vials you picked up.
I think that's too dangerous to give to Cyrus, though it would be funny.
I will tell this to Cyrus, because he is more familiar with the workings and nuance of the spell than Vendar is. Cyrus, you know that this item that he's handing you can work, but due to the, tying to a place, being of that place thing, it will have wanted to be made there.
Yeah.
And the last you checked, your whole life living in Shirkawa, there aren't purple worms in that area.
Right. So I'll say as much. And also, it's good. Like, I'm not, like, let me, I guess, ask this more as a question to Tristan. So, like, ideally, I'd want to specify that I'm teleporting to whatever room it is that we were offered to sleep in the palace.
Mm-hmm.
But given what the associated objects are for, I'm gonna have to mostly just, like, specify the city and it pops me out whatever place the object's associated with.
It doesn't seem from the wording to work that way. It's just the DM's discretion at how specific the spell wants to be. It seems like there's some programmed finickiness in the spell that it might put you right on a street in the city, or right in a room in the city, or it might, put you in view of the city.
Alright.
And I don't know, you could... I could tether that to the object, but I think it's just a little bit of random fun.
Indeed.
I feel like the object could reasonably make it so it's not anything anything not directly, exactly where you want it to go, would not be a dangerous or wrong kind of location. At the very least. Unless you if you have, the book from the library, then you could probably go to the library, where you got the book, or within reason, in that area pretty closely. If you were I want to be, in this building that's, 2 blocks away from the library, then you might end up somewhere a little bit off, but you're not going to die from the teleportation, being a mishap. It's not going to be a mishap. It won't be something dangerous or a similar area kind of thing. And the off target probably wouldn't be the same level of thing as as it would be if you just were very familiar with the area and cast the spell without having a thing.
I think that sounds reasonable. In any event, what this all boils down to is it's going to be useful, but still a little random. It's going to work, but you might just, you don't know exactly where you're going to land.
So I'd say that should work.
Okay. I can give you a vial of this stuff, but you gotta be really careful with it. It's very explosive. So don't drop it. Don't shake it. Keep it in your bag of holding.
Yeah, I was gonna say the bag of holding should suffice, should it not?
Okay.
This is a question he's asking because he doesn't know what this is.
I mean, I've been keeping it in my bag of holding. I do have it wrapped in cloth as well.
Whatever you have it wrapped in, I don't intend to remove it from, except maybe like a tiny bit to touch the actual glass of the vial or whatever it's in.
Well, I bought 6 vials of this stuff. I'm only going to give you 1 vial.
Yep.
Blow yourself up. I don't want to lose all of it.
That's relatively reasonable.
But yes, I just need to make it clear to you that this can blow you up. So be careful.
I intend to be careful with it.
I will very carefully take one of the vials and hand it to him.
Okay.
I will carefully put it in the bag of holding.
Yeah, you have this linen wrapped little burrito in your hand that he gives you, basically, and you can tell, even with just a little bit of finger pressure, that there's another soft layer under the linen, maybe cotton wadding or something else.
All right. Well, yeah. All right. So, since no one else needs a lift, I'm gonna head home. If we're in a relatively public space, I will subtly cast teleport so as to create a minimal disturbance.
Yeah, I believe that you're, like, right outside the palace, so subtle casting seems prudent if you're not gonna, like, ask to go in Vendar's house or something.
I will subtle cast.
Okay. You do so, and, Cyrus just poofs away before your eyes. Probably his least violent disappearance that you guys have seen in a while.
Now, I did find, because I was looking at my bag, I found this vial of liquid in the Temple of Bala where we've got the scales. It's in that pouch in the first room.
Yes, I recall it.
Would Vendar know how to, like, to try to determine what the liquid is?
You know that magic can help you determine what it is, probably easily.
I will go to the magic people and have them tell me what it is.
Too bad your spellcaster literally just left.
Could you tell me what it is? I don't think you could tell me what it is.
It's possible, but I can't tell you now.
I think Lair could tell me what it was. I don't think you could tell me what it is.
I take offense at that.
I don't know what spells Cyrus has prepared, so I can't even laugh over
I
here.
imagine it takes Identify, which I'm not allowed to learn, but I could wish it to.
I'm gonna use my spell to identify this vial.
Well, I guess on the upside, you'd be very, very certain that the Identify worked.
Yes, it's useless. Okay.
But it could at least detect magic.
I gave you the description for the fluid in there, correct? Like what it looks
I think
like.
you did. I don't think I wrote it down.
Wow.
You said it was like it had flakes in it. It was like clear. And there was almost like sediment, like it had. I think the sediment was like a red or purple or something. Maybe the liquid was.
Right. Okay. I remember now. Very good. So... Jebel.
Yep.
Are you going to just stalk over to the nearest tree and take off, or are you going to offer anybody to come with you to Crystal Rock?
I will announce my plans. And then ask if anyone's interested in joining me, or if they've all got their own things they want to do.
I'm thinking we gotta go to the magic people to leave the town anyway. So I might as well have it identified right before we leave. So I'll wait to identify it until after I have my holsters.
Okay. But are you going to respond to Jebel, who's telling you he's going to leave the town right now?
Okay. Have fun with your mom. Meet us
Will
back
do.
in Chiricahua.
Yes, take care.
Alright, it seems nobody intends to go with you.
Then I will find the nearest tree, and that's it.
Okay. Yep, there's a tree not so very far away from you. You walked her off into the grassy area around the Brilliant Plaza, and you're able to step right in, thinking of a tree back at home near your where you lived with your folks that you can pop to. So I've whipped up this map of kind of a sparsely populated little isthmus of land here between the coast and a large freshwater lake with some smaller bodies of water scattered here. So as long as that's acceptable to you, this will be the gnomish village of Crystal Rock.
Yeah.
Okay. You step into the tree in Everwatch, and with a twisting and the groaning of wood as the roots part and the trunk itself forms a portal for you to pass through. You feel like you're surrounded by green light and the reaching fibers within the tree. You step out, and again you are in sunlight, and you smell the familiar smells and hear the familiar sounds of the forest that the village of your youth, of your life before starting your druid training was filled with. And ahead of you, you can see, familiar homes, and the beaten pathways in the ground between the small gatherings of buildings around this area. You know that your family and extended family and all the people that you knew as a younger gnome live here, and you've been gone the space of the few months for this trip and whatever time that you had spent with your druidic mentor before that. So how long has it been since you've been here?
Oh, it's a year.
A year. Okay,
Year and
that's...
a bit.
Huh? A year and a bit?
Year and a bit.
Okay. So the 2-3 months that you've been with the party, and then however much time you were with your druidic mentor Gliss before that.
Yeah, and he's been on his own for a bit as well.
Okay, so what's the total on that? A year and a bit?
Year and a bit.
A year and a bit. Okay. So, a year and a bit. Not a lot will have changed in that much time. But like I said, you arrive midday, a little after midday, as you're right around the same time zone as Everwatch. This is pretty much a straight shot south. So there's people out and about. Say a couple of gnomes that you're familiar with. Perhaps the children that you knew, now a year older, will actually be happening by on the path at this time and spot you exiting this tree in your old hometown. And, so you'll catch these group of maybe 3 younger gnomes, kind of staring in awe as you step out onto the earthen path here in the middle of the forest. And, one of them will kind of tilt their head back and forth and kind of lean towards you from, maybe 30 feet away and say, "Hey, is that Jebel?"
I'll wave.
And you wave, and that seems to them to be the spark, the confirmation that things are as they thought. And so they're gonna, run up to you, these kids, now a bit older than you remember them, and you're gonna find yourself kind of surrounded with this semicircle of these three young ones who are kind of like reaching out and like tugging at your clothing. And one of them says, "Was that magic? Did you learn the forest magic?"
Yeah. No, wait, no, I have used that spell before.
This isn't the first time, but yeah, I think it's newish for you. You know that transit via plants is uniquely yours as a druid.
Hmm.
I have a question. How many times can you cast that in a day?
It is. Let me just see what level. I think it's a 6th level spell, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just. It's a 6th level spell.
Mhm.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times.
Okay, cool. Just making sure you didn't trap yourself here by accident. So they're going to be awed by this use of magic, and they're going to start asking you to show them other magic.
Let me see what spells. Well, we're forest gnomes. We get minor illusion.
That's true, but that probably means that they also have that.
I will produce flame. I will produce a flame in my hand and then quench it.
Oh, all right. Well, fire is always interesting to children, so they're going to be hooting and hollering about that.
Or I'll turn my back on them and cast alter self, and then turn around, and I'll have like a slightly different face. My eyebrows will be a slightly different color.
Well, they're very much enjoying this and talking about how they hope they get chosen to be the next druid. Maybe you'll get to train them. And they're making quite a ruckus as you perform for them. And so at that point, the door on this nearby home is going to open, and your mom's gonna step out, and shout to the children, "Hey, what's all this? What's all the racket? What are you doing there?" And they're gonna, shout and say, "Jebel's back. He's doing magic for us." And you're gonna see that your mom straightens up and kind of, peers past them to you. She is kind of like wiping off her hands with a dishcloth that she tucks back into her belt, and steps down the front step of the home across the way towards you. Never taking her eyes off you. She's gonna step, just kind of like the children are gonna part, let her past, and she's gonna, step up, smiling to you, and she's going to reach out to grab your shoulders.
I'm not going to stop her.
Okay, she's going to pull you into a hug. And she's going to hold that hug for a few seconds, and she's going to step back and say, "How's your training with Gliss going?"
I'm on the second part where I have to do stuff on my own now.
Well, then you're doing really well, then. I'm glad
yeah,
you could find some time to visit.
Yeah, we had a bit of downtimes because I'm actually traveling with some people.
Oh. Well, they're good folk.
Yeah,
That's good. Are you hungry?
I could eat.
Come on. I've just finished lunch, but there's some still. I can make some more. And she's going to take out the dish towel again from her belt, and she's gonna kind of playfully whip it at the children. She says, "Get on back to your mums!" And they're going to giggle and run off down the lane. You know, pretending to like cast the spells that you showed them with their hands, trying to mimic those same movements, producing nothing. Minor illusions at best. She'll invite you inside. You haven't told me much about your parents, so are they? Do you have a mom and a dad living together?
Yes.
And what did they do before you left?
I'm going to say that the rock gnome side, I think, is going to be her side.
Okay.
The father's.
So Dunduk's her brother.
Yeah. And that. God, what were they doing?
So around here, there is a clear lake and a quarry. The Crystal Rock is famous for granite and marble export. It's not a highly populous town, and that's sort of by design. They really don't want the big folk coming in and messing with their way of life, so they've got these agreements with the places that they provide these things to. But as you know, Donduk, as a geologist, has helped to find lots of deposits of granite and limestone and marble, and directed the excavation efforts. And then there's plenty of craftsmen here who cut it for use in masonry and in home building and carpentry. They've provided a lot of the white stone for the temples, like for the Temple of Pelor, would have come from a place like this, if not this place exactly.
I'm thinking that father will be like a herbalist.
Okay.
It's
That makes
in
sense.
keeping.
There'd be plenty of that. I'm just telling you what it's economically outputs, but there's tons of other things to keep this place going. There's going to be agriculture, there's going to be, huntsmen, forestry, and then there's going to be the herbalism, medicines. They're going to have some sea transport, fishery here as well. You just know that this place is almost exclusively inhabited by gnomes, either forest gnomes or rock gnomes, but especially forest gnomes, as the rock gnomes tend to get more into the tinkering, and they want to go places with more people more interested in that technology. But you know that the rock gnomes are instrumental in the quarrying business here. Their machines allow for the excavation and cutting of the stones in an efficient manner, not seen elsewhere.
Okay. She's leading the way inside, I'll follow.
Okay. Inside, it smells lovely. An herbal stew has been recently made, and she'll explain, she's got more loaves of bread baking in the oven. They should be ready soon. Anything you'd like. Were you always vegetarian, or would your parents be meat eaters?
I'm going to say that. What level is?
You're 17 or 18 or 19. Fuck, I
I
don't even
know
remember.
now, but I mean, is it Talk with Animals is the name of the spell?
Speak with animals.
Speak with animals. But forest gnomes can kind of communicate with animals. Small animals, anyway.
Yep. They naturally get that. I think they start with that as a racial ability.
Yeah.
So.
And just double check Alright. That's pretty good. No, it's a first level spell. Uh, I'm gonna say that once he basically got the ability to converse with animals properly, he was just gonna like, I can't eat these things anymore.
Okay, that makes sense. So, and your family would have, since that would have happened at a young age, they
It
they
would
were
have happened in like a year ago.
oh, like a year ago. Okay.
Like the actual spell.
Ah, gotcha. So do you think your family might not have changed over like that then? That they might offer you meat?
I imagine that he would have informed them.
Okay, then they will not. The stew is a vegetable stew, and obviously bread isn't meat, so all those are good. She'll pour you out some water from a pitcher. You can smell from one of the adjoining rooms the kind of burning, sharp, spiced sense of your father's herbalist work as he's and you can hear that kind of grinding of a mortar and pestle.
Oh yeah.
You haven't been quiet as you came on, but you hear that continuous grind. And your mother's gonna call out and say, "Hey, Pa, your boy's back. Come say hi." And that grinding continues on for a few more seconds. She's gonna call at him again, more angrily this time, and you're gonna hear kind of a clatter. And he's gonna kind of poke his head around, and you see that he's got these goggles pushed up onto his forehead, and there's like a discoloration to the skin under his eyes, like perhaps smoke from what he's cooking kind of rests there, kept away by the goggles. So he's got the imprints on his face as he looks over. He says, "Ah, boy, welcome home. What have you been up to lately?" He's gonna head in and hold out a hand for you to shake.
I shake it, and then I just wow, there's a lot.
I hope that Gliss has been keeping you busy out in the woods all this time.
I haven't seen him in a while. I've been traveling with some other people.
Oh, he's gonna kind of look to your mother, and she's gonna nod and say, "Part of the training, then."
What have we been doing?
Like 3 months.
I'm trying to think. It's been a while. I can't remember what the last thing we did was.
You saw Dunduk.
Oh yeah.
The last thing you did was that you went to Shirkawa, had a turtle race, and informed the leader there, Daikon Gabriel, that there was an army going up to fight the dragons, and you were going to take it over.
That's pretty heavy stuff.
It is. You want to tell your parents the heavy stuff?
Not really, no.
Okay. What? I mean, you had a turtle race. That's that can be.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, we were over in Shirakawa out east.
Oh yeah.
One of my friends took part in a turtle race, which was interesting.
Oh, a turtle race.
Big turtles.
Big turtles. Like bigger than me.
Well, he's an elf.
Bigger than hay.
Big, big, big.
Well, I haven't been to Shirkawa in quite some time. I didn't know they were doing that. That must be in this city. Is that a gambling thing?
I don't know if they gamble on it.
Your dad just kind of laughs. Says, "It's a competition. Of course they gamble on it. All the city folk gamble on anything they can. They'd gamble on breathing if they could." So you went and you saw a turtle race in Shirakawa. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
You're I heard that your uncle headed up to Everwatch. He was
I
setting up
just
some
talked to him.
newfangled something or other out west a bit ago, and then I got a letter saying that you wanted him to speak with the Queen or something.
Yeah, no, I put his name forward for some research work they were doing. I was just talking to him a little while ago, actually.
Oh, how's he doing? He didn't
Oh, he's
stop in to
great.
say hi.
He's very happy.
Oh, that's excellent. I'll have to. Is he gonna be up in what is it, Everwatch for a while?
I imagine so. Himself and
Hiraya.
Hiraya. Yep, I have it right here. Himself and Hiraya are working together. Um, on similar projects.
I see. And they're doing that for the Queen. Oh,
Mm.
that's fantastic. That's big news. Your mother and I'll have to schedule a trip up that way. When was the last time we were in Everwatch, dear? She's gonna kind of look a little thoughtful. She's gonna say, before Jebel was born, I think. Well, I think that's as good an excuse as any to get up the city way again. Just for a little bit.
Okay, is Vendar's sister actually like
So she's like
the
crown
queen now?
princess,
Or is
basically.
she?
She's not the queen now. She's like queen in training.
Oh yeah.
So she's handling. She is. Outside of you guys, you don't know what else she's handling, but you know every time you have gone there, she handles you.
No, I'll just say, actually, the new princess in Everwatch, she is the sister of a friend.
Oh. Friends with royalty now, are you? Well, that must be exciting.
Well, nobility at least.
Sister's the princess and soon to be royalty anyway, family of royalty. That's big. We're still part of Aspara here, so we get a bit of news that way. We'd heard about the wedding. The whole town got the invite, but only some of us can really step away from the work to attend a fancy thing like that.
We made it to that, didn't we?
You did.
We got there in time.
You made it to the wedding.
Yeah. Yeah, I was at it.
With approximately 5 seconds to spare.
Yeah.
Teleported in there, walked right to the wedding.
You were technically you were late, and your mother had come to find you.
Yes, but we were there.
You were there. You made it. Jebel, sorry.
No, I said, yeah, we were at that. We got to that wedding because my friend it's
brother to the new queen, princess.
We had to pick up someone in the Feywild.
Pick up.
Which was yeah. If you ever get to the Feywild, be careful. That place is weird.
Yeah. No, I think that we've got enough stories about dealing with Fae, so we're not really too keen on it. Who were you picking up in the Feywild? Someone you already knew or new friend?
Yeah, he got pulled into the Feywild to do something, and then we had to travel to get him, so then we could get back. Time moves weird in the Feywild.
Oh.
And now he can't remember stuff because he sold his memories to some Fae.
Your father is going to kind of chuckle. And your mom's going to shoot him a dirty look, but he's going to kind of like waggle a finger at you and says, so the stories are true. They can take the memories right out of your head if you let them.
So what we've been warned is that they can do anything if you don't word responses to questions and queries and requests very, very carefully.
Yeah, all the old stories, you know. You think they're just there to scare kids, keep them safe in the woods, but sounds like they're true, huh?
Mm.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't come back with extra toes or nothing.
Do you know what we found?
I honestly do not.
We found garland.
They're gonna kind of blink at you for a little bit as they're like trying to. It's not that they don't recognize the word, it's just that they seem convinced that you must be talking about something they don't know. But eventually your mom's gonna say, you don't mean like the old fairy tale garland.
The city. There wasn't much left of it. I think basically everything above ground was gone. I think all that was left was like the vault.
You
The work
mean
that Uncle Dunduk is doing is based on some old Gnomish engineering that we found there.
you're telling me? Your dad's kind of like, pushed himself back from the table and is looking at you a little incredulous. You're telling me that those old stories that your uncle used to spout about this city, out in that terrible desert, true? That place really existed.
I don't know if it was a desert at the time. It was taken over by a lich who had apparently obliterated the place. I think.
Your
I
mother's
think that's
just gonna like set another bowl of soup in front of you and kind of look at you, down from above as you're sitting at the table, and say, "Taken over by a what, dear?"
an undead creature.
That's dark magic, boy. Don't go messing with
Oh.
that.
Well, we kind of messed with it because it's gone now. Whatever she was doing there, it wiped out everything.
All right, hang on.
I think we think it's gone. We're not sure. It was. Well, nobody knows.
You're gonna hear your mother, who's straightened up, speaking over your shoulder towards your father. She's like, "I'll contact the cleric for a cleansing." And he's just going to nod as you continue to tell your story. So, Garland, undead, lost technology, and Uncle Donduk,
Oh, we found some magic items there too that were. Oh, they were funny.
Funny how? I can't imagine
Oh.
safe.
No, they were. It's a pair of boots that makes you faster, but once you put them on, they don't let you stop moving.
Just like running around forever.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Which I imagine other gnomes would find funny because it seems like it's a very prank.
It sounds like a prank after Garl himself, and he's going to make a ritualistic sign toward the ceiling.
Trying to think, what were the other ones?
Not a lot of
There was
people.
a cloak. There was a cloak that made it hard to spot you, because it just billowed smoke everywhere. So you couldn't wear it indoors.
Because it would fill the place with smoke.
There was a belt that made you strong. It was a belt of giant attraction.
Giant attraction.
Yes, apparently it summoned a giant, which we found out in
Bromdor.
Bromdor the city or the.
You were in
Bromdor's the
Nalia's
country.
house when the giant got summoned.
Is Bromdor the country or is it the city?
Bromdor. You're right. Bromdor's a country, but they were in Volinar, the city.
Volinar. I keep forgetting that name. No, it's like, yeah, we were in Volinar. That's when it happened. Apparently, his random chance that it will do this.
Well, I bet those bastards regret your visit now, then, don't they? Summon a giant right under their noses. I'll teach them.
He was not happy.
Well, do they know it was you?
Yes.
Oh.
It's the guy from the Feywild who also wrote the Giant Turtle. It was his friend's house.
Why did you summon a giant in his friend's house?
I don't think the bell.
Wait, hold on. You got friends in Brondar?
Couple.
Well, doesn't that seem a bit foolish?
Did I meet what's his face?
Did you meet Sivan?
Because I know Bruenor did, but I don't remember if Jebel did.
I mean, you definitely saw his dead body.
Yeah, I think Jebel
you
met
stole his rings.
Did I?
You stole his rings right off his dead fingers. Insisting to the party that they were probably worth something. You cast blight on him because he was a bloaty corpse to pull the water out so you could get the rings off easier.
I don't remember doing that.
I'll never forget! It was terrifying.
Sounds
it was
familiar
hilarious.
to me.
He was so innocent about it.
He's not using them. Oh goodness! I think you gave them to Nalia and Claire because they were, probably a mark of office or whatever. So you wanted to have some way of proving, like, yeah, he's definitely dead. We're not just spreading lies about it. Here's his ring.
That is something about Jebel that I always kind of felt would work, is that kleptomaniac's not quite the right word, but just the idea that, like, I need this more than you need it.
Yeah, it definitely was how he was explaining it, so yeah. He doesn't need it anymore. It could be useful to us. We should just take it. Anyway, I don't think...
Well, you have a diamond, I need a diamond for spellcasting, so I'm just going to take this.
So, no, you never met Sivan, Jebel never met Sivan while he was alive. You kind of met the idea of Sivan that Rowan was trying to project at you guys, but ultimately it was just Rowan and a corpse that you met.
I was... Yeah, the guy who used to be in charge, he's dead. Some new people took over. They're nicer.
You see. And are you friends with these new people, then? They're not going to take offense at this, giant you summoned and take that out on us here in Aspara? I mean, it wasn't too long ago that they marched a whole army up here and it threatened Empress Belgrin.
No, I think the new people in charge aren't as, asshole-ish as the old guy.
I see. Alright.
I met her, she's nice.
At this time, you're going to hear the door to the house kind of clunk shut, and two sets of feet are gonna come over, and you're gonna hear your mother's voice, kind of lilting out, saying, "All right, I've brought the cleric." And as you turn in your seat to look, you're going to see a well-decorated and deported gnome here, dressed in the accoutrement of Garl Glittergold. He's just decked out in, like, glittery bangles that upon, like, any more than a moment's scrutiny you realize are all basically costume jewelry. And this, the cleric's gonna come up to you and look you over and say, "Your mother tells me that you've been around the undead."
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me,
That's right.
like, about how much time you spent around the undead? Like, a few minutes? A few hours?
I think we spent a few minutes around.
I mean, depending on
Well,
what he means by around undead, you've spent literal days.
yeah, I'm like in my head. I'm like doing maths, like in the air, like tracing numbers with my finger. Like there were a couple of different ones that we. There was the big lich there, but there were a couple of minor ones before that. But we didn't spend a lot of time around them because we just kind of dealt with them very quickly.
A lich. You were around a lich.
Well, liches.
He's gonna hold up one finger from each hand under his chin and repeat, like, just mouth back at you, liches. Stressing the is.
Yeah, there was a lich in Garland, and there is a lich in
Sudaran.
Sudaran. Now, he's not quite as bad.
He's going to, as you tell him this, he's going to turn back to your mother and says, "I think I need to perform more than just a cleansing here." He thinks he's been to Garland?
Do I have anything from Garland? Did I keep anything?
There was sheet
I
music and an
will-
instrument, the violin.
Yes, I will reach into my bag of holding and pull out anything I have.
The violin.
The violin. Just checking to see.
And you
do
had
I have
taught
any-
yourself to play it, and one of the songs, which was like some hymn of like Garland's Lullaby or whatever.
Yeah, I pull out and go like, yeah, I got this in Garland.
As you pull it out, you know, the body of the violin comes first, and he's just gonna kind of he's gonna start by saying, "Oh, that's just a lute," and then you're gonna pull out the bow, and he's gonna look very inquisitively at that, very quizzically at this bow that you have, and he's gonna kind of like point his finger at it a couple times, like you're gonna see his lips move as he's trying to start to form words. Hey, what is this?
It's one of the things that we found in Garland.
Are you gonna play it for him?
And we actually found some music there as well. So I play the song.
Okay. You play it, and he's immediately kind of awestruck by this instrument that at first he thought was a lute, but then instead of plucking the strings, you're running the bow over them, producing a very different sound from plucking. And you're going to see as everybody here just kind of watches you, you know, your parents and this cleric, and listens to the song. And he's going to say, "I've never seen an instrument quite like that one. But I recognize that song. I do suppose, though, it could be why they call you the Lute Meister. You're quite good with music, aren't you, Jibble?"
I won't deny it, but
Garland, though.
mm,
Need to think on that a bit. It's not supposed to be Anyway, if you'll consent to it, I can do the cleansing to, wash off any, foulness the undead have left upon you, and bless the house for your mother, for the usual fee, of course.
How much?
Oh, it's just a modest offering to the church, 15 gold.
Okay.
He was saying, like, when he said for the usual fee, he was directing that, like, more at your mother. So he kind of turns to you a bit surprised when you ask for the price, but he gives it to you. He will perform this ritual, which feels, now that you've had more, like, experience of the rest of the world and then been able to contrast that to the way Garl Glittergold tends to do things, you feel like it's a bit less than what it's being billed as. A little more pomp and a little less circumstance.
I'll let it happen. And then I will reach into like my purse and pull out a platinum and 5 gold.
Okay. He seems
have
surprised
them
to be being paid by you, but he takes it and says, I'll be outside blessing the house, and you should be able to enjoy the rest of your day. Your mother will thank him profusely and, praise Garl. He's a bit surprised to see the platinum piece, but they know what those are, so there's not like a problem with it. He accepts it easily. After unless you had something else to say to him, it sounded like you might have.
No, I'll
Okay.
let him go.
So he's gonna step out of the house, and after that, your dad's gonna kind of let out a low whistle as he goes, "Well, training with Gliss has been good to your purse, hasn't it, boy?"
There are enough of us. We found stuff.
In Garland.
Other places too.
So yeah, found the ancient fairy tale kingdom of the rock gnomes. You plundered it.
Into the Underdark.
Going to entirely stop what he was listing off and blink at the table before raising his eyes up to you and say, "Lo now."
Yeah. That was interesting.
I can't imagine that to be true. That it was interesting. It sounds terrifying and dangerous and suicidal, perhaps. Interesting. Not a word I would associate with that, no.
Do I know that Leah had her brain eaten?
Huh. I think the party is generally aware that, because she started talking about, like, serving the Elder Brain and all that. So she was clearly at least mind controlled, and then Doral cast the wish spell and was very injured by doing so. I think, Leah, do you remember if that was not made public knowledge to the party?
I think that was public knowledge, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah.
I was like, yeah. The Underdark is not a great place. There's some weird stuff down there.
I would have thought that Gliss would tell you that, so you wouldn't have to go find out yourself.
No, we had to go for reasons.
See.
So, in Volinar, a lot of the drow that sacked the city were kept as slaves. But as it turns out, the drow have 2 gods. One who is, well, no, not very nice, and the other who is a decent person. So the followers of the decent goddess, they're quite pleasant, friendly, trustworthy people. So we're helping them out. Nuance. The world is full of it. Who knew?
That's marble chips. I tell you that story. Two gods. Good drow. You believe
They're
that?
good drow and they're bad drow. They're good halflings and bad halflings. Good elves and bad elves. Good gnomes and bad gnomes.
Sure. I mean, all the raids, the pillaging, burning. You met these?
We met bad drow. We met good drow.
You met good drow. They give you their names and everything.
Yep.
Seems a little surprised.
What's it meant to say? Kes?
Zeph.
Zeph. I always get that wrong.
Zephyrius.
The head drow now in Volnar is Zephyrius.
Head drow in Volinar, so Volinar's got a drow faction.
Mm-hmm. After
Sivan's
because Sivan sent his entire army out. All that was left were the drow, so now they are guarding the city. And he's dead.
I've
Again.
heard just about everything that I could imagine one could hear in a day here. What? You're going to, like, feel your mom's hand on your head just, like, smoothing down your hair. Because your dad seems to be just sputtering and, like, trying to, like, wrap his mind around all of these earth-shaking revelations you're dropping on him.
He hasn't heard the half of it.
Oh, if you're going to Volinar, bring some food for the bears.
I'm not going to Volinar. Why would I bring food for bears?
There are bears that live outside Volinar. I made a deal with them that if travelers just gave them a bit of food, they'd leave them alone. But I think giving up a bit of food is better than being eaten by a bear.
It is. At least I know that you're still doing druid work. Believe it or not, that's the most reasonable thing you've told me so far, boy. Deals with bears. Okay, nature stuff, druid, got it. Gliss, do a job, lad. But drow running the security of Volinar. Volinar not gonna declare war on us because you summoned a giant in their city. Good drow. Dealing with liches. So I'm not saying that right. Liches.
Well, destroyed one lich. Not sure what to do with the other one.
Destroying lich.
Potentially destroying it. Again, not sure.
There. Okay. Well. How's the soup?
Forgot about the third lich, too.
There's a third lich?
Well, he wasn't a lich when we fought him, but he's a lich now.
Oh yeah. Forgot about him.
He's
That was the
probably
second
the one that's the most stated. The second one was Tresnor, I thought.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Tresnor and what's her
Yeah.
face. I forgot about
Christopher's grandpa.
Oh yeah, him. That's yeah.
I forgot about him. Oh, I forgot about those undead. The ones that...
Yeah, the ones that we
There's
just fought most
no
recently.
proof that Alvernus Westigo became a lich, okay?
Didn't we literally ask using the divine whatever and ask if he had become a lich and they said yes?
There's no physical evidence in your possession that proves that he became a lich.
This is technically accurate. The best kind of accurate.
We haven't technically seen him as a lich.
Yeah. So who are you gonna believe? A hand that gave you a thumbs up? No, wait, that's omens or whatever.
Yeah, no, it was we asked the divine plane and got the answer yes.
I think that's what Commune was in 4th edition. I think that's what I'm remembering. I think in 4th edition it summoned a hand that would give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
High five.
I think that's how that worked in 4E. That might be what I'm thinking of. Anyway, so yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. You did ask those questions.
What the hell else have we done?
3 liches. So my story's a little lich heavy, sue me. They're really useful as plot devices.
I like liches.
Something that you can kick the ass of without worrying the morals about it.
Yeah.
Anyway. So you tell your parents the story, these stories, these fragments of story about what you've been doing, leaving off all the stuff about the dragons, but laser focusing in on these undead. But I suppose, Druid's supposed to be putting that to rest, so, I guess from there's a standpoint.
I met these guys when I was just going around doing general druid stuff, and then I got like this dream or something that I had to go somewhere, so I went to this village, which apparently I thought it was a giant spider thing. Turns out it was a beholder, and they were there dealing with it as well. So that's how we met up. I'm a vegetarian because apparently they ate some children.
Your father looked like he was going to say something when you were talking about this beholder spider thing. You saw him take in a breath and place a hand on the table, like getting ready to say something, and then you drop. They're vegetarian now because they ate children. And he just sort of deflects.
No, I said I'm glad I'm a vegetarian because apparently they ate some children.
Your mother behind you is gonna stop stroking your hair. She's gonna say, "Your new friends eat children."
Yeah, it's really messed up. That beholder really messed with everyone's heads in that town.
Why are you still friends with them?
Oh, they didn't know. They arrived in the town. They went to
They
get some
had
food.
children. They didn't intentionally eat children.
Oh, I met a unicorn.
And a unicorn, of course. Why not a unicorn?
Unicorn was protecting the other children. It had taken all the other children out of the town to keep them safe from
being eaten.
Yes, because all the parents were being kind of like mind controlled by the beholder.
Is this what druids do?
Stop children from being eaten. I think that's that's something.
I mean, I'm glad you're protecting children, except for the ones that got eaten. What?
Well, they got eaten before I got there.
It wasn't your fault. I just we think of Gliss, and we think of someone who's been guarding the forest and, keeping the peace with nature, keeping the big city folk out with their, clear cutting and their big machines. She kind of you see her kind of look toward the window and hesitate before she says, big machines? Just, making sure things live and die all safe like. Just never, imagined these baby-eating spiders and mind control wizards and undead magic and fairy tales come true.
Oh, it's a much bigger world out there, as it turns out. Lots of weird stuff that we have to be protected from.
You sure you want to keep doing it?
Sure, if I don't do it, who will?
Your father sitting across the table from you, it's gonna kinda, a smile is slowly gonna spread across his face, turns into a smirk. He goes, I like that. If I don't do it, then who will? Well, I'm not gonna fault you for that one, lad. I was worried. He's gonna, put out a hand, kind of padding toward the table, forestalling and say, I was worried hearing a lot of these stories, but, that's right. We sent you with Gliss to learn to protect the forest, but, you're protecting the world, and forest is part of that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just all part of the job. Alright.
At some point, I think I'll introduce you to the rest of the party.
Maybe, find
You'll
us
like them.
when we visit Everwatch. I'm not sure it'd be a good idea to bring him here. I don't.
I'll just look around at just how small the room is, and I go that might be an idea. Yeah.
Too many children around. Definitely don't want to bring them around here.
I don't think the town's ready to hear about your baby-eating friends.
I don't think they all did.
Ah,
I think one or two of them did.
what a relief.
Probably don't bring it up, because they might bring something up.
So, that's kind of all I have. Is there more you wanted to tell them specifically? Otherwise, I would say, you spend this time with your parents. They seem to be kind of warming up to these very outrageous stories you're telling them as they kind of are getting the idea that, yeah, it's a big world out there, and the job that Gliss has trained you to do is much more than they ever realized that it was, and that's really on them, and you're doing a good job.
I'll say probably the last hour or two while I'm there, I introduced them to Skith and Syl.
Excellent. Okay, yeah. I'd been going to ask earlier about Skith, and then I distracted myself, so that's good. Yeah. They'll love meeting Skith. And Syl. Oh, man. We haven't talked to Syl in forever. I think she's probably pleased with what you're doing. That's why she hasn't been popping in. I was thinking, man, since we haven't talked to her in forever, should I really, run that scene? I'm like, I don't think it's necessary to. I think that you're doing your job, and that's what she's here to help you with. She's there as a resource to be on the right path for druidism. And, your path is windy, but it's right.
Who's Vendar's Squeakers?
Yep. Lord Squeakers the Second. Oh.
Wait, what? Squeakers?
Lord Squeakers the Second.
Lord Squeakers the Second. Which goddess is she? Is
Cyanide.
Cyanide. And Cyanide is the goddess of...
She's, the goddess of self-actualization and second chances. Self-determination. Which is why she sought out Vendar, who was very much actualizing himself.
Ew.
Why, did you want to tell your parents about that?
No, it's okay.
Oh, okay. I'm like, where's he going with this? What about squeakers?
I couldn't remember which goddess it was.
Yeah, cyanide.
If it was relevant. Not terribly relevant.
It's no Garl Glittergold.
Nope.
Alright then. Well,
Um,
like I say, there was a bit of time there where things were like, there was building tension as you were just layering on the troubling news. But, with this, that seems to have broken, and now they're interested in what's going on, and clearly doing their best to understand the things you're saying with not a lot of context to go by, because they've never done a job like yours. They've never had to deal with most of what you're talking about. So it's like, yep, rockets go into space. Sure. Sounds good. I don't know how to make that happen, but somebody does, and they're doing it. Good for them.
trying to think of there's anything else. I don't think there really is.
Okay. Then,
We have done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so you're going to spend several hours with your parents. I'm going to need you to make another check against exhaustion. DC is 16 this time.
Well, I failed.
Okay. So you take a level of exhaustion. By the time, you're kind of closing things up with your parents, you're really kind of starting to feel like it's, maybe time to get a nap. You'll remain there for now, and we'll talk about you coming back once I get there. Let us pop our skells over to, let's see here, group these guys together. You took off. Raiken is here. Okay. So, Cyrus.
Yep.
You convinced Leah not to go with you because it's not a shopping trip?
Indeed.
Okay. Then, you will, I'll just do...
I offered to let her still come, but made sure she knew what she was getting into.
Alright, so you will subtle cast your teleportation. And, using your focus, you are going to find the flagstones and, these clean-cut lines beneath your feet, replaced by wooden shingles. And there's, the calling of birds and a gentle breeze blowing over you as you stand in the sun. And you kind of roll a dexterity saving throw, DC 12.
Alright. Dexterity, that. I got a 14.
14. Alright, so, there's this moment of disorientation when the ground goes from perfectly flat under your feet and made of stone to made of wood and at a slope under your feet. But you catch yourself before, tumbling ass over tea kettle as you notice that you are on the roof of a wooden house in the middle of a forest. You're surrounded by trees. And you might be able to see, just little dots of smoke, little strings of smoke rising over the trees for little homes or settlements in the nearby vicinity. But this house sits on its own in a little clearing with a bit of garden nearby. You recognize it as being your mother's roof.
All right. Well, just kind of aiming for the front door, but I guess this will work. And I'll make my way down.
As you're, carefully stepping to the edge and then climbing down off the roof, you're going to hear the front door bang open, and your halfling mother is going to scurry over, with a broom handle in hand, held like a bludgeon or a spear.
Looking to deal with squirrels, whatever's on the roof.
Whatever's on the roof.
I have the exact picture of what this looks like.
And she's going to be saying, "All right, you little pests, I'm going to... Oh, Cyrus! What are you doing up there?"
Seemed the magic felt like being a little more finicky today.
She's going to say, "Don't fall. Hold on." And she's going to kind of disappear out of sight as she gets close to the house. She disappears beneath the eaves. And, she's going to you're going to hear kind of a grunting, and you're going to hear clunk. And you're going to see as a ladder kind of swings into view and then crashes against the side of the house. And then you hear, she's like wiggling the bottom of it to make sure it's steady. She's like, "All right, whew, climb down that."
Thank you. And I'll climb down. And,
as you get to the bottom...
Don't you have wings?
I do, but she was ahead of me, so... I just gotta use it and say thanks and not say anything about it. But wings was plan A.
So, as you get to the bottom of the ladder, she's going to grab you as you turn away from it, and she's going to hug you for a moment. She's going to say, "Well, you should have called ahead or wrote or something. I didn't know you were coming today. I was, I've just finished with lunch. Did you want me to make you something?"
I've eaten. You don't need to worry about that.
Oh, okay, good. She seems relieved that she doesn't have to do more cooking.
Yes, my ability to send ahead is limited, so I thought I'd just take my chances with popping by.
Oh, she kind of looks up, her eyes trace up the ladder, and on she says, "I suppose as risks go. Could have been worse." She's gonna say, "Do you mind helping me get the ladder back down?"
Of course. And he'll try and do as much of the work as he can with putting the ladder back where it belongs.
It's an easy, quick little thing, especially with the two of you. And she's gonna say, "You must be here for the clothing."
Well, along with saying hi, but yes.
"Oh, really? You came to say hi to your mother? Well, I'll have to find her and let her know. She'll be ecstatic."
Roll my eyes.
She actually starts to head back into the house, and she stops, and she turns back towards you. She's got this little gremlin look on her face as she places her, one hand over the other under her chin. She goes, "Oh, wait, that's me."
Good, you remembered.
Well, getting forgetful in my old age.
Oh, you're not that old.
She kind of, looks you up and down. She's like, "You weren't always that tall." "Come in, I'll show you what I've made." "Where are your friends?"
They had other errands to run. Some one's working on memorizing some spells, another's visiting his own family, another's waiting for a commission.
Commission? Okay, well, I just figured the next time I saw you, I'd get to meet these mysterious... They're heroes, right?
I feel like most would call them that, of course.
Well, the last band was mercenaries. I just didn't know if this was more of that.
No, these don't negotiate as well. He
There's a
says that with
there's a
little chuckle to
pause.
himself.
There's a pause. She's just like staring at you and then you kind of see like that mischief creep back into her eyes, and she points at you and smiles. Let me show you what I made, and hopefully it will make you look very heroic. And she's going to pull out a few shirts and a cloak. Yeah, I think it'll be 3 shirts and a cloak. And she's going to, hold these up to you one at a time and show you they're in 3 different colors. You got like a red and a blue and a green. And the cloak is kind of like a brownish green. As she gets to that one, she says, I remember that you wanted to look more inconspicuous and earthy last time you bought a cloak. So, same material. But she holds up the shirts, and you can see that there's these flaps of fabric sewn by the shoulder blades of each in long strips, and she's going to kind of loop her arm through the sleeve so that she can kind of hold it up so the back is flat to you, and then she's going to take her other hand and poke a finger under the flap of fabric there, and then kind of flip it so you can see that it's like two strips of fabric that are overlaid on each other but not sewn to one another, so that they can kind of be pushed out and open in a slot that's roughly about as wide as the wing is as it's forming on your back. And then when she pulls her hand back, the 2 pieces of fabric like neatly fold over one another and seem to kind of close the shirt. So it's not just an open hole. It's covered when there's not a wing through it. What do you think?
I think it'll work beautifully. Looks nice, too.
Thank you. Took me all night to figure out how exactly I wanted to accomplish it so you didn't have a draft on your back. And then, had to get the fabric and figure out my pattern and sew it, so, no small amount of effort. But she's gonna, kind of like reach out and grab your cheek and kind of pinch and shake your face back and forth a little bit. But all worth it for my boy. She's going to toss the one on her arm at you. Says, try it on. Make sure it fits.
And he'll try it on.
It's a pretty good fit. It's like maybe a little larger than it needs to be. It's like, I wanted to make sure there was too much instead of too little, because too much I can fix. Or a belt also fixes it. That is definitely your color.
I like to... Since I still have the true polymorph going, I would probably just adjust my shape ever so slightly as I'm putting it on to make it fit perfectly.
Oh, right, this true polymorph that made your eyebrows a little too far apart or something. She's not said anything, but every now and then you'll notice that her eyes kind of linger on your face. And at first this is like, I don't get to see my son very often, I'm happy to see him. But after a little while, like, that there's something, she's trying to figure something out. Maybe your face is dirty or something. But she can't put her finger on it. She's not saying anything. But you can tell something's going through her mind, and it makes her stay looking at your face longer than usual. Before she, reminds herself, no, I'm going to grab this other thing, and looks very pointedly away to go get the thing to show you.
But he'd probably mention it after a while.
Why is your face different? Did you get hurt?
Well, no, this is more to avoid getting hurt. As there are some rather dangerous encounters up and coming. a friend of mine was able to cast True Polymorph on myself, and has given me a form like Father's.
You used magic to become a dragon?
Temporarily, but
Huh.
like him, I can also turn back into myself, but I perhaps slightly missed a spot.
It's just, you don't look at your own face very much, so as you're using the magic to recreate it, there's just like going to be little things that are off here or there because you're not aware of what they look like in great detail. Other people see your face much more than you do. Oh. Well, I'm glad that you're taking these precautions to protect yourself. She's just gonna kind of like place a thumb against your brow. She's like, this? You're gonna feel the point that she's indicating with her nail. Should be a little more here, and you're gonna feel another point up there.
And he will do his best to adjust as instructed.
You're gonna see her draw her hand back, like it just kind of surprised her that your eyebrow just started working its way across your forehead like a silkworm.
Like inchworm.
You just go, there, is that better? Like Men in Black. And she goes, yeah. Perfect. There's my boy. You're able to spend some time.
I'll be back to how I usually am after not too long, but better to be safe than sorry.
Better to be a dragon when fighting a dragon?
Indeed.
I hope you and your friends will be safe as much as you can be in such a dangerous situation.
We are doing our best to keep things as safe as we can, but there is inherently going to be risk involved. I have a few plans to keep things relatively safe.
Have you talked to your father?
Not recently. As I've already mentioned, my ability to send is limited, but I should be able to get one out this evening.
Not. He used to go on and on about his responsibilities. I'm sure that he'd be a good resource on this task. For information, if nothing else. Strategy, maybe even.
It would be helpful
like
to know what to expect, so I will, even if I won't be able to get much out of him tonight, perhaps I can set up a time or place for us to meet, and he'll try and make kind of like idle, not really idle chatter, but like try and talk, make conversation without having to go into like the big scary things.
You find things to talk about that relate to the work you've been doing without being the gory details of such. She invites you to regale her and talk to her about this stuff as you work in the garden, as she has stuff to do there. So she gets a little labor out of you too.
But while he is trying to avoid mention of most of his work, he probably would mention the drow, as that's information worth spreading.
I see. So you're going to tell her how you've met these followers of Illustrae, and that hopefully more people will abandon Lolth for her.
Indeed.
She's happy to hear these things. She's, as with anyone, at first a bit skeptical until you can kind of give her enough pieces of information that could only have come from really dealing with this before she says, okay, this must be true. But it's clearly, it's a difficult thing to accept that, all of your life and your parents' lives, any drow that you'd ever heard of were followers of Lolth, and Lolth is a well-known mean god, bad god. So,
especially since she also has access to Cyrus's father, who has been around much longer than either of them.
So,
but would still have similar experiences to that of her.
Yeah, I mean, she would probably mention that, even your father had never spoken of the drow like this before, so it's all very surprising and new, and she hopes for the best.
Indeed.
She also seems glad that it's happening mostly far away from her.
Not surprising, but even if it spreads slowly, spreading it bit by bit can help.
Oh yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. But yeah, you'll work with her. All of the obviously with your polymorph, the clothing can all fit perfectly. You can use the sorcerer power to.
I will work on constructing a sending.
But yes, you spend a pleasant afternoon, evening with your mother.
Oh, quick question.
Yep.
This is somewhat mechanical in origin. There's a spell I want to copy with Wish, but I don't necessarily know if Cyrus knows it enough to do so.
Yeah.
It's one that I don't quite recall the name, but the one that the sorceress from Ebengard used when we were in the Underdark that made her teleport away when a certain condition was met.
Contingency.
Contingency, that's the word I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Because I figured if I could do that
Yeah.
tonight, it would let me save the spell slot for tomorrow.
So for any spell that's not in your spell list, it'll be an Arcana or Religion check, depending on whose spell list it does come from, to see if you know it. And it's going to be a decent DC, but say you fail the DC, so you don't know the spell well enough to cast it with Wish then, but you can always find it. Talk to Lair, talk to a temple of Ione especially, to learn more about these spells. There's going to be records of existing arcane spells in a library that you can just get quick descriptions of, so that later you can use Wish to do them. But without being in the presence of one of those in the moment, you'll just have to make this check to see if you can do it.
And it is not on my spell list. I just checked.
Okay.
It is wizard only.
So roll Arcana.
Rolled a 1 on the first one.
Okay, so your halfling luck comes into... Oh, you're not a halfling.
I mean, I am.
Yeah, but you're using the dragon stat block.
Alright, well then, since I already rolled it, inspiration then, since I have it.
Okay. Hilarious.
Alrighty. Right. Forgot. Its Arcana is weirdly worse than mine.
That is funny, and I'm sorry.
Because, while it's more intelligent, it's not proficient.
Ah. What you got?
10.
That is.
So that ain't gonna cut it.
That's not gonna cut it.
Yeah.
So you don't know. You know. You have an idea, obviously, of what her spell did. You don't know what the spell is. So you could use Wish to create an effect which is not copying a spell that does what hers does.
Yeah.
Or you could do something else.
I will probably just eat the spell slot in the morning.
Okay.
Actually, what about something? There is one spell that I know he's aware of, Glyph of Warding, which I could copy
Okay.
and have a similar effect.
In that you cast teleport into the Glyph of Warding now, so that you can just hit the glyph tomorrow when you have all your spell slots back?
Yep.
Yeah. That's fine. You can do
So
that.
I will do that. I know he's aware of that one because he got an emergency glyph installed in her house.
Yes. You may do that. So you cast Glyph of Warding and you put teleport in it so that you can just go bop it tomorrow and teleport back.
Back to working on this ending.
Okay. So then, the guys who stayed in Everwatch. Your two friends there, Cyrus and Jebel, poof off in their disparate manners. And you guys are able to just sort of cool your heels, enjoy the breeze, and chit-chat up here in the Brilliant Plaza for an hour. People watch. Leah, you seemed excited about the prospect of clothes shopping with Cyrus, but that burned out. Is that something that she would still like try to pursue with these guys?
Yeah. I
I'll
mean,
let
she
Leah
got it
know.
in her head now, so now she wants to
Yeah,
shop
that's what I
clothes.
thought.
I'll let Leah know about the awesome massage she missed.
No, she's gonna be very bummed out about that.
Ah. He's still around somewhere.
Maybe next time.
You can find him.
Next
maybe.
time, let me know, will you?
If you'd come with me. You wanted to go watch your dad fight.
I stick out my tongue. I honestly didn't watch them much. I got bored.
That sounds like you made the wrong choice.
Yeah, and then that's when I found the guys looking for Jebel.
And then you got to meet Donduk.
But now I really want to. I want to see what the city has to offer. I'm gonna go window browse a little bit.
Alright, so,
Don't get into too much trouble.
And it's just clothes that is no trouble.
Meet at the Mages Guild in a little over an hour.
Sure.
okay. I mean, as a person who has come here a lot, even before the party started coming to Everwatch for this, you Vendar are aware that, the leather worker who you commissioned the holsters from would be in a commercial district, which is probably one of the places that Leah would be drawn to if she's going to look at clothing. So it is not unreasonable to meander together until it's time to go get your commission, unless you simply don't want to do that.
That's fine with me. Gotta be there to pick up the holsters anyway.
Alright. Raiken and Yuki. Raiken has said has told Leah not to get into trouble, so I take it that he is not interested in going shopping.
Raiken is currently interested in attuning his new ring that he got.
Yeah. That's not
I think
so.
you got the Ewoks missed up too. You put Yuki next to.
I did. I grabbed the wrong Ewok.
So he can't really do anything.
Okay.
Because he wants to concentrate on the attunement.
Alright, you're gonna sit there and meditate. Yuki Those two are going to go shopping. Raiken wants to sit and meditate here about his ring. Would you like to continue enjoying the sunlight and the breeze here in the plaza? Or would you like to join the other two for looking at clothings?
Not much for clothes, guys, because I'm Dragonborn.
Dragonborn wear clothing?
Yeah, are you naked right now?
I'm a necessities person.
Alright. So would you like
I've
to...
always been naked.
So I think I got a couple copies of books stashed away in my bag from going to the temples of Ione. I think I might just let everyone know that I'm just gonna, guys. I'm just gonna maybe sit here and read a book. Come get me when you're done.
Well, then the meet at the Mages Guild in an hour will be directed at you.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, you, Yukikaze, and Raiken remain on the bench there. Raiken is silently, he's got this, the black iron band with the garnet stone set in it on his finger, and he's got that sort of clenched into a fist before him, and he's focused on it, either with his eyes narrow or closed, but he seems to be just focusing on this ring on his finger, the one that he purchased at the Mages Guild just recently. And so while he sits there silently, you can fish out a book and read it on the bench next to him. Leah, you and Vendar head down into the lower tier of the city and into the commercial district there. Vendar, you spot the leather workers' shop that you need to head to in about an hour, and you tag along with Leah as she looks at these shops. And Leah, there's all kinds of shops here. There's cobblers, shoemakers, there's florists, there's people who not unlike Paulina in Arcosia are mixing up these potions, herbal remedies, medicines, love tonics and such, and selling those either as snake oil or as the real deal in probably less common cases. And then of course there's people who are making there's the fabric workers, there's people who are making blankets and there's the people who are making dresses and shirts and pants, these different weavers and seamsters and seamstresses. So these shops are going to have, colorful bolts of fabric flying from their eaves, declaring, they're open and the type of clothing that you can have, custom tailored to your every need there, showing off, the yellows and oranges and purples and blues, any color that they can dye their fabrics to. So what?
Wow, they got blue.
They got blue.
That's expensive.
They-
Blue is
they-
was the rarest color to like the hardest color to make back in medieval times.
Yeah, well, these guys, they already found Ireland and took all the woad. But yeah, so they've got the ability to dye many colors here. So what kind of clothing would you like to look for? What are you in the market for? You can get, boots, you can get gloves, you can get skirts or blouses or full dresses. You could arrange things. You could get petticoats. You could get pants, if that's what you were in the market for. What does she want to look like?
She's just window shopping, pretty much.
Okay. So not unlike that episode of Firefly where they, finally get to land on one of the core planets and immediately, they're looking at the dresses in the window and,
Just a puffy dress.
the puffy dress, and you're not the only one here who's stopping and looking into these shops, and you can see the tailors at work within, you can see other customers inside having measurements taken, but there are dress forms, by these front windows showing off ruffles and flowing trains and just all kinds of, bits of fabric that have been stitched and sewn and, I don't know, crocheted into, corsage-looking, flowery, accents on these very fine clothes. You're still in one of the higher tiers of the city, so this is a place where you can really spend some money if you set your mind to it.
Does it look like they have like a dressing room sort of deal?
They do, yeah, any of these places, they have a screen that you can try on, like a dress that these places will have like a, how do I want to say it, like a try-on dress that's sewn really large, and then they've just got some places where they can like do a clasp to cinch it up so that you'd get kind of like an idea what it would look like if you had one custom tailored to yourself, so they have one that they can just kind of throw on anybody. But yeah, it's not so much a dressing room as inside, away from the window, they have like a changing screen that you could go behind to throw this on. But they're mostly like, yes.
I mean, I can alter self at will. I can just go into another dressing rooms and just figure out what I like.
Yeah, but they don't know that. I'm just telling you what they have, because most people don't come in and start using magic. So, I mean, if you wanted to, you could do that. You could go in and look at the things on the shelves and then use Alter Self to kind of create the outfit with some of the things that you see, and check the mirror and see how you like it, and then ask for those specific things. Is that what you want to try to do?
Yeah, might as well have some fun.
Okay.
See how much I can look like a princess.
Well, you very much can. You spend some time, and I just kind of imagine that you kind of go in, head toward the door of one of these, and Vendar kind of like slinks in after you and says, I can imagine him being like, I thought we were just window shopping.
I just want to try it out. I just want to see. I'm not used to high fashion. I want to see how it's like. No, that's probably boring to you. You were raised on this.
If you want anything, we got plenty of money.
You might not want to say that too loud.
I mean, as you tell him that, as you're dragging him into the store, one of the tailors within is going to come up and spread their arms wide, showing their own long drapey sleeves made out of this beautiful kind of shiny fabric hanging from the arms. Say, welcome to my studio, Miss. And as this person is kind of reaching towards you to get your name, as they started to say Miss, they're going to catch sight of Vendar over your shoulder, and their eyes are going to lock on him for a moment, and you can see gears turning, and they're going to kind of suddenly draw their hand back, and one across their chest, the other under their chin, as they seem to be like side-eyeing Vendar, and they say, "Is that Lord Draknir?"
It is.
Well then, they once again spread their arms wide, and a broad salesman's smile across their face as they say, "Is there anything that I can show you or your lovely friend here today?"
Yeah. Whatever you want, just go ahead and look at it.
Sensing the dynamic here, they're going to smile broadly at you, Vendar, and then turn back to Leah and say, I see. The mistress in charge of our own wardrobe. Oh, this is exciting. What is your name?
Leah Lumas? I'm not.
Leah.
It's not what you think. He's just friends.
She's going to lean and say, I would consider myself the luckiest girl if I could call Lord Draknir a friend. Especially with his access to funds. Now then, Miss Leah Lumas. Miss Leah Lumas. I like that. It has a beautiful ring to it. You may call me Rhea. Now then.
Hello.
Hello. What are you looking for today? What color is your soul?
I tend to lean towards purple, but I want to see like how much. It's a little silly, but I kind of like want to see how much like look like a princess or like a nobility.
Silly.
I'm not really raised in this.
Let
Fast.
me assure you, Leah. And she's going to. They're going to reach out a hand towards you, for you to take. Do you take it?
Yeah, a little hesitant, a little shy.
They are going to smile broadly at you, and they're going to gently curl their fingers around your offered hand, and then they're going to draw back and kind of pull you with them and tug you into a twirl as a dance. Say, I can make you into the most beautiful princess in the land, save for Lilith Draknir, of course.
Yeah, of course. I just look at Vendar.
Naturally.
But I'm certain that we can make Mr. Draknir sweat. Now then, you like purple, and it is a lovely color. Your eyes are the prettiest shade of violet, you know. Unusual. They're looking around at the bolts of fabric hanging from the walls and the partially constructed dresses kind of showing what they can be made into, and they've got their hands pressed together under their nose as they seem to be contemplating these. They say, what might bring out purple? How about, yes, maybe a little bit of a teal? Let's try royal blue and, yes, yellow. And they're going to pull down bolts of fabric, in rolls. And so they've got these heavy, heavy bolts under their arm, and they're going to clunk, set them onto the ground beside you and unroll them a bit, pulling about a yard of fabric that is, 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall, and hold it across you and between you and them like a screen almost, just comes up to about your chest level. And they're going to say, yes, I think the teal, the yellow, perhaps not the blue. Let's try some things. I think I might have some layer this and layer that, and they're getting very excited into this, and they kind of catch themselves, as they're starting to maneuver around the place and pull these paper patterns toward themselves, sort of like schematics for making these clothes, and they're going to stop and say, measurements. Let's take your measurements. And they're going to, flit away a little bit and then come back, pulling out a fabric tape measure, from one hand between their hands, and they're going to gesture to you, raise an arm, stand straight, hold it, set out a leg, and they're going to take all of these measurements, and you're going to see that they're noting them down, and after, about an hour of taking these measurements and suggesting fabrics and looking at schematics and going over this stuff with you, how much would you like do you like the poofy shoulders? Do you like the drapey sleeves? Do you want layered, poofy dress or something, more slim? Getting all these details, they're going to kind of sketch up each of the segments that you go over with them. And they're going to keep laying the fabrics over the, little corners of the fabric over the parts of the dress to say, we do this part in this color and that part in this color. And then if we layer like this, it should look like so. And you kind of begin to get this idea in your mind's eye of exactly how this thing should look. And they're telling you, that it'll take some time to, get some rough cuts before they can throw something on you, maybe another 20 minutes, half an hour, to just get some broad strokes to lay over you to see how it really kind of comes together on you. But with all of this that you've talked about, with everything that you've seen with the sketchbook, that you could probably use your spell to just instantly create what they've talked about. See what it looks like on you. Do you want to do that?
I'm not sure if I want to do that right in front of them. I don't want to feel like their work is redundant.
Do you want to, they have the, different pieces that make up the dress in those cinchable forms. Did you want to maybe grab a couple of those and go to the dress, the changing screen to get a feel for it and show yourself what it would look like then, perhaps?
Yeah, I can try that.
Okay. You do so. You spend 5-10 minutes trying out, different shapes and patterns of color. Using everything that they talked about as guides, and then embellishing or altering from there, and you come upon some things you really like the look of in the mirror, and you feel like you can kind of make these suggestions, say, I had a thought while I was trying this on.
Yeah.
And so you present these ideas.
Disabling the spell first, not naturally.
Yeah, naturally. You present these ideas to Rhea, and they, they contemplate these. They take on they seem very thoughtful about this, not at all offended. And they immediately, take the pencil and start sketching these alterations that you're thinking. They say, "Oh, I think I could really make that look good." And so, after, another hour or so of refining, doing this little dance where, you make some suggestions, they make some counter suggestions, and then you go to change and you try it out with your spell, see how you like it, come back with more thoughts, this back and forth. They tell you, or you tell them, yeah, that looks great. It's really come together. It's very you. Very much. A lot like when you had the custom armor dress made way toward the beginning of the campaign. this is very much a personalized creation for Leah. And it's very, very fancy, and it's functional in the places that you have felt where it should be. Easier to... They had some ideas, just based on experience for how they might be able to hide the ways of getting into and out of the clothing more easily in the particular shapes that you've asked for. So, it's a bit less of a hassle to put on than your standard, ball gown. But more than anything, it has personality. And finally, Rhea, looking very pleased with your joint effort and the roughly colored sketch on the sketch pad, says, this really is some of the finest work I've gotten to participate in recent months. Shall we make you a princess, Leah Lumos?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Do we want to let Mr. Draknir know how much he's spending on this, or shall it be a surprise?
Money's not that big of a problem. It's fine.
Excellent. I do love surprising the nobility. Alright. It's gonna take me some time, but I should be able to have this done in a week.
Yeah, okay.
Excellent. You are going to be... My darling, you are already beautiful, but this dress... Fantastic. A fantasy come to life in my own studio. The dress does not make you beautiful, but you will make this dress beautiful.
Oh, that's sweet.
It will be my honor to make this for you. And it will be Vendar's honor to buy it for you. It's unfortunate that he had to slip away some time ago.
I suddenly look around surprised and oh, I guess I did.
He said he had somewhere to be, and so I told him I'd take care of you. And care of you...
He actually said something. Usually he just disappear.
they I won't say they look surprised by that, but they once again, they fold one arm over their chest and bring the other up so that a single finger trails up their cheekbone toward their eye, and they look at you with a raised eyebrow and says, "Don't all men?"
True. She kind of roll her eyes.
Leave this to me. Go find your friend. I think he's... across the way and down a bit. To the left.
We have a meeting spot. It's fine.
Oh, well then, perfect. Leah?
Thank you so much.
It was lovely to work with you. They are going to...
I do a bit of a curtsy.
They are going to return a bow toward you, my lady.
Just blush. Leave.
Vendor.
Yes.
There was lots of talk about fabrics and colors and Leah, going this way and that way, getting measurements taken. A tailor shop. You've been through this all your life. Every time there was a fancy thing your family must had to attend, you had to have another suit made. So you've been down this road before, seen the song and dance. But it is nice to see them happy, both Leah and Rhea here. And then the time comes for you to get your holsters.
Yeah.
You head out and down the street just a little ways to the leatherworker's shop, where they are serving another customer, but they are shortly out of the way. And you step up, and the, let's see, was I smart enough to give them a name and put them in my sheet? That is always the question, isn't it? Spara. Go here. Row below. Do Rhea. That is the tailor making Leah's gown. Okay. Okay, there's Donduc and Rhea. There's the masseur. Nope. I didn't. I'll have to check the recording to see what I said about them. Anyway, you go into the leatherworker's shop. They recognize you, of course, because it was just a couple hours ago that they spoke with you. And they say, I have what you asked for, my lord. And they're going to step away from the counter to a workbench a little ways away, and you're going to hear the clatter of the pistol and the muffling of these bits of leather. And they said they've just finished drying. And they're going to hold up the pistol in the holster, and they're going to, so that you can see, they're going to turn it one way and the other, and then they're going to grab the pistol, and they're going to pull it out, and you're going to hear that whoosh, that flick of the metal against the leather as it comes out. And then they're going to reinsert it and pull it out again, showing you how easily it can be done. They're going to show you that there is a strap that can go over it and be buttoned in place, so that, like, even if you go for a tumble, the pistol's not going to fall out. And then they're going to show you the belted harness, and they're going to quickly show you how they can pull it over each arm so that these pistols sit, just right on their hips, right around their waistline on either side, so that you can easily just reach down across your chest and grab the butt of the pistol.
Okay.
Is this to your liking?
Yes, excellent work.
Good. You had already agreed to a price. I think you'd already paid them, even.
Yeah, I already paid him.
Okay, so they're just going to hand everything over the counter, pull it off of themselves and hand it over the counter and show you how you can adjust it to your own chest size.
Thank you very much.
If there's anything else that you need made of leather, I would be happy to accommodate you.
I will let you know.
Very good, my lord. Well then, if you have any issues with these, if the leather becomes damaged and you need it repaired, please bring it back here straight away, and I should be able to fix it, patch it, replace it, whatever's necessary.
Sounds good.
All right. Well then, thank you very much for your business, Lord Draknir, and I hope that I have a chance to serve you again.
Well, thank you for your work. It was excellent.
I take great pride in it, and I hope that it serves you as well as my design has imagined it to be able to. And if it does, please recommend anybody else who needs leather work done to me. I'm always available for commission.
I'll do that. Thanks again.
Very good. Take care, my lord.
And off to the Mages Guild.
Off to the Mages Guild. You head to the Mages Guild, and sometime later, the others are going to show up. It is 10:30, so I am going to write up this sending, but first I will end us for tonight. Sam,
Yes.
thank you for your patience.
I'm having fun.
I always worry. I go, there's somebody I didn't talk to.
It's Sam. His life is shit posting in the Discord.
All right, good.
It's the balance that you have to strike.
It is. All right. I think we're getting a healthy course of human moments before the party rushes off to almost certain doom. So, good. Good and also excellent. All right. So, hopefully we get to meet next week, and then we'll be good, but we'll see. So, I want to thank everybody for showing up and participating. And, for those who were participating in the longer scenes, thank you for your participation. For those that were waiting, I am always apologetic, but I am appreciative of everybody getting a chance to have a little bit of spotlight. Those that want it. Alright. With that being the case, I will say thank you, and bye, stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye,
Goodbye.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th of July.
Oh, yeah, happy America Day.
Happy America Day.
Happy Steve Rogers Day.
Yeah. Alright. Thank you guys for all being here. I know that everybody had kind of different size roles in this, so I really appreciate you all being there for each other. And hopefully we get to meet next week, and we'll see if the party ever gets back together. I forgot to have the rest of you guys roll your Constitution saving throws, so don't let me forget that at the beginning of next time, whenever that is.